people say, oh, why are you doing that? Shouldn't you be focusing on running the business? And this is a big part of the business. This is like the balance between the profit, the people, and the purpose.
I think a concern I have, sometimes actually organisations doing it with the right intent.
It's done well as a business over the years because we've put those things first. But that balance is really important. It's not just those things and forget profit, because you need to make profit. It's like a car without any oil in the engine. You need to make sure you get it all right.
Hi friends, welcome to the first episode of Between Me and You. Today I'm joined by Gavin Willis, founder and CEO of CSR Seven. And he's today going to be talking about CSR. We'll be diving into his ebook, CSR Seven, Balancing Purpose with Profit, and unpacking actionable ways to align your business goals with meaningful impact. I invite you to join us, share your thoughts in the comments, and let's start this important conversation. So Gav, tell us a little bit about yourself and CSR Seven.
Yep, so I'm the founder and CEO of CSR Seven, search marketing agency for social goods. We've been going since 2011, and I guess to kind of give an overview to how we started, I worked at an agency before, a fantastic agency in Brighton called Propellernet. And we did like one big charity event when I was there, and it was such a good feeling, getting really involved with the community and the team. We raised a lot of money, and it was the owner's close charity to the owner, and it was just great. It's such a good feeling. So when I started CSR Seven, obviously PPC and SEO as our day-to-day service, but I wanted to make sure that I had that feeling more often. I wanted to make sure that we were a force for good. I wanted to embed that kind of vision into the way we operated.
Okay, so really focusing on the content of your ebook. I know you start with the focus upon your team, your people. Can you tell us a bit more about why it's important to engage your employees in fundraising activities?
Yeah, I mean, for years we just had a flagship charity, and that's kind of like my charity that I supported, really passionate about. People joining, and they really loved our vision and our mission, but it was kind of like Gav's charity. It's engaging the team, making them be the ones that really shape what it is that we're doing, and for them having that connection with their own charity that they choose. So every year, when someone joins, they choose their own charity that's close to them. And I think that's just really powered up what we do. So the whole team are the ones that are guiding and shaping what we stand for and what we do for charity. So engaging them is great. We have a CSR committee as well, which is brilliant. So we have 5 people, I think, me and 4 others, that get to meet every month. We chat about the activity we're doing, the events, how we're using the business for good, what else are we up to within the business outside of fundraising events that can really engage the team, get everyone together. And yeah, the team also have their own contacts with their own charities. So they then speak to them all the time, give them an update on what we're up to, ask them what they're doing, ask them how can we support them, how can we be an ambassador for their causes, and like follow them on LinkedIn, share stuff. So we really want to build that community and that connection between our team shaping and guiding what we do and what we stand for, not being just a Gav thing, but also being our thing, a CSR Seven thing, and having that really close bond with their own charities as well.
Okay, and it's quite interesting you started then talking about community, because that I think is the next focus, right?
Yeah.
So you've got your employees on board. It sounds like they're also engaged, and it's a fun thing to be part of the team. How do you then successfully foster like partnerships in community?
Yeah, community is everything. It's huge. So what we're doing is to benefit the community. So we want the community to be involved in what we're doing, basically. So the first few years of running the agency, we gave back. We kind of donated money. We got involved in half marathons, and we put a logo on a kit, all those kind of things. But we were just getting involved a little bit, but we weren't really building our own community. So what we've done since then, since 2014, was just do community events, get everyone involved, build up those partnerships, get everyone to come along and have fun, and to bring along raffle prizes, or to sponsor, all the things that we've learned that you need to do to foster that community and that trust and that rapport, just to build that loyalty, really. We've got so many people now that are just part of our S7 community, like clients, partners, sponsors, friends and family, the team. It's just built over the years, and just building that community, you have that sense of people that are there behind you, wanting to support your cause, and just to keep getting involved, and just to keep helping.
Yeah, and putting fun into fundraising, right?
Yeah,
so actually, you know, business can be tough. there'll be ups and downs, but actually, if there's something coming up in the future where, fundraising campaign, so that I can imagine that can really get your team, the wider community on board. Can you think of any sort of creative examples of the fun?
Yeah, for us, all our events that we do are just fun events. We don't do serious events where we're talking about, we probably should get the balance right. We don't just talk about SEO and invite people along to just learn about SEO and PPC, but we do events that bring people together. They're informal. They're just about building connections and having a laugh and having those. A lot of the great things that you get when you chat to your peers or you chat to anyone in general is you're building trust, and you do that when you're having fun. So all our events, we've had games at the Amex Stadium, or we've done golf days, or we kind of take people to sixes, the cricket down on the seafront in Brighton. You're building that environment around you, that atmosphere where people can be relaxed and people can be themselves. So not only are you doing good and you're raising money for charity, but we're putting on a fun experience. And I think the charity ball we did in 2023, that was our own blueprint, that was our own stamp. We weren't following other charities, what they do for their balls. We just did it the CSR Seven way. We had a 7-hole mini golf course in the corner. We just had me and Sam coming out to, let's get ready to rumble. We just kind of mixed it up and done things that are really different, but it was all about having fun. And that's what we're all about when it comes to our events.
Brilliant. So how do you measure the impact of all these CSR initiatives?
Yeah, so when it comes to our CSR initiatives and the fundraising that we do an impact report every year. So we wait to the end of the year. We raise money throughout that year. We divvy all up. We give the money to the charities at December, a really important time. And then we do an impact report. So we kind of get information back from the charities themselves. We get quotes, testimonials, where's the money gone, what difference is it making? And we want to share that with people. We want to kind of show the impact from what we're having. I think that's really important. I think people sometimes don't want to show that, but I think charities really want companies to do that. They want you to show how you're having an involvement, but also it's on you to inspire others. This is the impact it could have.
Yeah. What I really like about sort of the ebook is also that you get into the practical. So it's not just about we did this. It's actually how can any organization implement it. So what advice would you give a business that maybe they're just starting? They might look at what you're doing now and go, crikey, there's a lot that CSR Seven, I could never do that.
Yeah.
But actually, what's those first steps that any business can take?
I think first steps and what you can do to really get it off the ground is put in place a framework. What is really important to you? What do you think you can give back in a year? Well, who do you have around you in your team? How can you get them involved? So for me, it's find your purpose. What are you really passionate about? Who do you want to support? And is it personal to you? Is it personal to your team? So number one is to chat to your team. Have a meeting, guys, we want to put this in place. Who's behind it? Is this something we want to be a part of? Make it an engaging thing with the rest of the team. Two is that framework. So we give 7% of our profits back to charity every year. And that used to be up to 7% in the first few years. Because obviously a new business, 9 out of 10 businesses fail within the first couple of years. So you don't want to dedicate 77%. You want to kind of keep it to a certain threshold that makes sense and it's realistic, but also gives you that drive to make sure that you are being profitable, because then you're giving back more. So a model like that works for you and your business is really important when you start. But now we're 7% minimum each year because now we've got things working. So put in place a framework that fits right with you, get your team around you, and things just get the community involved. Think about sponsorship. That's another thing for me is there's people out there that want to get in front of big crowds, big audiences, and they want to just help you out and be part of the journey. So start thinking about your connections as well. There's so many tips I can go on and talk about.
More than 7.
There's probably more than 7. I probably could do 77, but those ones, engaging your team, thinking about how to get your community involved, connect with your charities, think about who they are. But step one is, what are you really passionate about and how do you really feel you can make a difference? Get that on paper, do that as a thing with the rest of your team as that exercise. And then there's steps to build from there.
Yeah. I think a concern I have is sometimes actually organizations doing it with the right intent, that actually it shouldn't be about primarily a marketing activity or we want to be seen to be doing good.
Yeah.
Do you agree that actually the authenticity, you focus there on, it's got to be something that they're passionate about?
Yeah.
Do you see it when businesses do it wrong?
Yes, that's probably why I've done the ebook, because I want to try and show people how you can do it right. There's businesses that probably go the other way. They probably try and do too much, but they're not profitable and then they're not around for long. And there's others that are very profitable, but they say they do all this, the CSR and social impact, but they don't really give it justice. They don't really put so much effort and commitment to it for it to work properly. More of a tick box exercise. So yeah, I do see that happening in those different examples, but it's about embedding it the right way. So it's actually something that's a consistent thing that you do. It's part of your DNA, and you really do embed it within your team the right way. So it's not just something on the kind of job spec, oh, we do this at the business. You've got to live and breathe it. So actually embedding it the right way takes effort. But yeah, hopefully the ebook kind of gets across how we've done it, gives some tips about how you can embed it the right way, because people say, oh, why are you doing that? Shouldn't you be focusing on running the business? And this is a big part of the business. This is like the balance between the profit, the people, and the purpose is everything. And our efforts are shared between those three areas, those three pillars. And for me, it's like by giving back, you can move forward. So by focusing on your team, the culture, by focusing on your community, the profit will take care of itself. Just do the right things, and you can still be a profitable business.
Yeah. I think that leads nicely onto one thing I'm really interested in, is the challenge side of things, right? Your business has been, like any business, has been through a journey, on profit, on team size, all that kind of side of things. Did you ever stop doing this at a period, during COVID or something like that? Did you always keep purpose aligned with profit? Can you tell us a little bit about some of the challenges that you've experienced in that balance?
That's a good question, because I'm smiling because it's so easy, when things get tough, like financially, COVID comes along. For us, COVID came along and we had 65% of our revenue just gone, because we did a lot of work in hospitality, in retail, and in travel, and a lot of clients just weren't functioning. They couldn't carry on. So obviously that had a big impact on us. We went down from 8 people in the team down to 4, and our values were heavily tested. So that was the first big time that we kind of got tested on our ethos. And we had just launched like a week before, like 3 days before the pandemic was announced. We launched a big campaign. I think it was the Share 77K campaign, to try and get our fundraising up to £77,000. And it could have easily been that case where we said, oh, you know what, we've got to, batten down the hatches, focus on our profit. No, it was the opposite.
And people will understand, right? People would go, okay, they've stopped doing that because they've just got to survive.
I know. But for me, it was very different, because, you can internalize and think about the negative things. Like, we need to turn things around. We've got to focus on profit. But for me, focusing on giving back and what I can do to help gets your mindset in a very positive mindset, basically. So again, giving back to move forward, it's that whole mindset of, I really just wanted to continue doing not just the same, I wanted to do more. I wanted to give back more. Charities were struggling, all their funding was being cut, and I felt this huge responsibility to keep doing that work, not just for them, but also for me and for the team, because I felt like I needed that. I needed that positive energy to keep me in that right state of mind, to then tackle my own challenges in the right way. So that's kind of, we were tested massively during that time, but we just done even more fundraising and got the community together, gave them that positive energy, which helped them out as well. And it was great. So it was it was a big challenge, but I think we got through it really well.
Brilliant. And there's a couple of things I heard there, which I think is really, really important, little bite-sized pieces. One was actually that it was part of your values, right? Yeah. So this wasn't a side thing, oh, we'll do a bit for charity, we'll think about purpose a bit, but actually the organisation's values have that at its core. Yeah. And clearly it's the values that you personally hold as well.
Yeah.
The other thing that you mentioned was give back to move forward. I quite like that phrase. Is that something you've made up?
It is, loosely. It's like the circles. I'll show you this actually, like on the ebook. So we've got the kind of the circles here, but like it's all these things. Like it's getting it right. So I've kind of designed this thing is like give back to move forward. Like the arrows go round. So it's just kind of then bringing that kind of model to life, really. But it's just that mindset of when things get tough, you can again batten down the hatches and think about profit and money. But Search Seven's much more than that. It's about the people, it's about the culture, it's about giving back. And it's all about, we've done well as a business over the years because we've put those things first. So that balance is really important. It's not just those things and forget profit, because you need to make profit. It's like a car without any oil in the engine. You need to make sure you get it all right. But don't just focus on profit, focus on the other things first. And yeah, so that I have coined that phrase. Hopefully it's nothing like revolutionary, but it just simplifies what it is that we try and achieve, really.
Yeah, I love it. And I think people watching and listening to this, they want a few little bite-sized pieces, a few little phrases is helpful. Give back to move forward is a really good one. Obviously, as a creative agency, we believe in the power of clear communication, impactful visuals and branding, but always after all those other foundations. So you've highlighted values, your team engagement, then going out to the community, fun, reporting back, so that's actually the impact. But then with all those in place, does design matter?
It does matter, Matthew.
Good, phew.
It's huge, and you should know this because you've been our charity partner doing our design work since we pretty much first began, really, which has been absolutely incredible, by the way. Because you need that design to then amplify what it is you're trying to say and what you're trying to do. And if you don't get it right, it doesn't have the same impact. Yeah. So in terms of that design, it's about having a message. You've got to simplify that message, but it's also how do you amplify that? And that comes through design. So all the things we do when it comes from like our event posters, our landing pages on our websites, the kind of collateral that we hand out at the events itself, it really strengthens that message, like what we're trying to achieve. By having really slick design that helps get people together. It's that identity, isn't it? As you know more than anyone else, it's that brand identity. And by creating this kind of brand identity through our events and our fundraising and our CSR, people then become consistent. When that becomes consistent, people then resonate with it. They're building that kind of connection with it as well. So all the things that we've done over the years about different campaign names and things like that, is following like the same brand guidelines, the same kind of, processes every time. So people know that it's a Search Seven event because they recognize the branding, they recognize the impact it's having. It's been fantastic, and I think it does have a huge impact on what we're trying to do.
Brilliant. Well, that's good to hear. I think we've covered some real key foundations. We've talked about the community and your team and all of those kind of key tips. Let's think and talk a little bit about the future. Mm-hmm. Where do you see the role of CSR evolving in the next 5 years or so?
Yeah, good question. CSR, someone said to me the other day that, people are talking about ESG instead of CSR and talking about governance and certain frameworks and things, which is...
What do those both stand for, sorry?
Oh God, ESG, is it environmental, social goals? I think it's that. I don't even know. I think it's that. But I say, that people say to me, why do you call it CSR, not ESG? It's because, us, we're all about social impact and building community. I don't want to be, shackled by, you've got to do things in this way. You do things the way you want to do it. We've done things the way we've wanted to do it since day one. I think there needs to be a license to have fun and to kind of play around with your values and what you want to do. It needs to be your thing. It needs to be what you're passionate about. Don't follow other people's rules. So for me, CSR is still very valid. I think the next 5 years, there's a big shift in people wanting to do more good of their business. There's also a big shift in people now saying, like Deloitte studies and things like that businesses that do good are good businesses. And it's also good for business at the same time. And that never used to be a thing. When we started Search Seven in 2011, I thought it'd be a really good idea to just give back and just give me, selfishly, that really good feeling all the time, because I wanted to do more. Right. It was only 10 years later that there was all these studies about, well, actually, clients want to work with businesses that do good, that look after their people, that look after their environment, that look after their community. And it's actually now a business kind of factor when deciding who to work with. So people are, which is good and bad, because people are doing it for the right reasons. They've got to be passionate about it, and they've got to choose the right charities, and they've got to get involved with their team, and all the things that the ebook talks about. But I think the role of CSR in the next 5 years is that companies are now waking up and listening to the other side of it. Like, why should I do that? Well, it's not just a good thing to do, but it's also going to be good for your business because people are looking for those kind of things that you're doing as well. So that's getting bigger and bigger. There's more people taking it more seriously because of those extra benefits as well. So hopefully there's more business out there that are either doing more good for society or want to, or are more aware of it and the impact it can have.
Yeah. So let's talk briefly about what's next for Search 7 and its CSR journey.
What's next for Search 7 and our CSR journey? I think we're just continuing to do what we're doing. You know, we've started to do a big event now every October, which has been huge. We did a back to school event in 2024 and our first ever Search 7 charity ball in 2023. Both huge events, like more than 200 people in the room and absolutely mind blowing in terms of like the community coming together and really helping us to have a really big impact. We do our partner events still. We've got more of them coming up. We've got businesses and partner leaders, agency leaders and business leaders going head to head in like golf or bowls battles and things like that. There's these socials that we get people together and do a charity element there too. So everything that we do, there's like 5 or 6 events we do each year. So that's what we're going to continue to do. Continue to do a big event, like a random Search 7 event that is quite unique every year. We might bring back the charity ball again, maybe for our 15th birthday in 2026 potentially, or a big party. So yeah, we've got things in place now that have worked for like years that are kind of become quite consistent, and people know when they come along, what months they're coming in. So that's been brilliant, which makes it easier to roll them out every year. You've got that reputation, people are like looking forward to it, the numbers are getting bigger every year. So I think we're just going to continue to do really good stuff, great events, get more people along, keep building our community. We've got a new partner referral league. That was it's actually a charity referral league now as well, which we've been running for about a year. That's helped to raise an extra £4,000 this year for charities. 7% of our profits, 7% commission goes towards this referral league. 5 goes to the referrer, 2% goes to a charity of their choice. So that's now a big thing for me, focusing on partnerships and community. So yeah, we just keep introducing new things, keeping it fresh, but also mainstay events that people get to know and they really love, keeping them going as well. And then throwing in that big unique one in October every year alongside that. So yeah, big things over the next couple of years. We are working towards our 15th birthday at the end of 2026. We've got our current campaign, which is the S7, no, I should know this. The Share 177 campaign. We do loads of campaigns, and that's to get our fundraising up to £177,000, and we're at 145,000 so far. So we got like just under, 2 years to get there, which I think we'll do because we're doing quite well every year at the moment, but it's all thanks to our community. So yeah, just keep doing what we're doing really, and hopefully do bigger and better events, keep everyone involved.
Wow. So staying busy.
Staying busy.
Yeah, I appreciate you slotting in a bit of time to chat with me today.
Pleasure.
So thank you very much, Gav. Really enjoyed sort of digging into some of the details in this ebook. I guess final question to ask is, how do people actually access the content and the tips that you've packed into this?
Yeah, so it's available to download for free on our website. I'm sure you'll be sharing the link, Matt. And
link down below or something.
There you go. And no, it's available for everyone to download. So feel free to kind of get involved and download it. Links below, as Matt said. And please use it, embed it. Do it, like I said, do it the right way. Just get your team involved. There's loads of tips there about ways we've gone about it. Some really top tips. So hopefully it helps you out. It can get you on the right track, as you said earlier, and how to start. And if any questions, give me a shout.
Brilliant. Thanks, Gav. Really enjoyed the chat today.
Pleasure.
Cheers. So now it's over to you guys, really. Thank you for joining us on the first episode of Between Me and You. If you found what we've covered useful, then there'll be a way in which you can download the Search 7 ebook, but also encourage you to share your journey in the comments. Talk about the topics that, maybe tips that you found have worked for CSR. And I hope you can join me again on my next episode of Between Me and You. Thanks and bye for now.